This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Financial Straight Talk. It's all powered by Wadadley Financial Group, alongside the founder, president, and investment advisor representative Jim Fox. Kevin McAlpin here with you. Thanks as always for joining us, and of course, hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Covered a lot in segment number 1, and if anything Jim and I discussed throughout the course of today's program sparks your interest, pick up the phone, call Jim and his team at Wadadley Financial Group today, or you can visit them online anytime at getfst.com. Well, Jim, you know that over the last few months, I've sort of transitioned from the baseball world to like the financial world,
yeah,
the corporate
sense,
world.
Kevin.
Like I'm totally over my skis when I'm doing all this. And I've joked with my friends back home. I said, corporate Kev now has a lot to learn about like corporate buzzwords. This is like a whole new thing for me. I'm sure this is not anything new to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, absolutely. Weird. You are definitely a very strange dude going from the baseball lax world to financial weenie radio. Yeah, it's definitely strange, man.
Learning how to work an Outlook calendar and send invites and all these words I'm hearing in meetings going, I don't even know what we're talking about. But I digress. One of the new corporate buzzwords, if you will, among younger adults is something called micro-retirement. You ever heard of this one?
Nope, never heard the term at all.
All right, so let's talk about it here for a minute. It's basically when young folks fight against job burnout by essentially taking a sabbatical. Maybe it's a couple of months, maybe it's even a year or two to recharge the batteries. Now, I'm wondering if those about to retire can take a cue from this. Jim, do you have some clients maybe who are uncertain about retirement that may want to sort of test drive it a little bit before fully committing? Have you experienced this?
Okay, so let's obviously there's been people that I'm not really sure if I want to retire and I should probably check it out. But let's address the younger folks real quick. Just grow up. All right, listen, we put our time in. All right, I've worked. I had a paper route and cut lawns, but I have worked in the workforce since the day I turned 15 years old. I'm 52 years old. I had exactly one day that I was unemployed, which was when I left the Marine Corps, and I had a day break before I started working at UPS, right? Okay, there's my one break, all right, in my entire life.
There's your sabbatical.
Shut up with your sabbaticals, okay? Like a bunch of wackadoos, like whatever. And you know I'm ruffling somebody's feathers right now, but it's my show and I get to say these things.
Sure.
It's just nonsense, okay? You go to work and get through it. And you know what? There's another movement that the young folks really were all the rage about a few years ago. It was called the F.I.R.E. movement. Have you ever heard of that, Kevin?
I have not, no.
This financial independence, retire early, FIRE, F-I-R-E, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea was I'm going to save up a bunch of money and then I'm going to eat ramen noodles and I'm going to retire. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's people that did a great job with the FIRE movement, but it was like the most depressing form of retirement I've ever seen in my life, right? Like living on bare bones, nothing. Here's what I see as a retirement planner, somebody who does this for a living. You have spent the last 40 years of your life working 40 plus hours a week. The last thing you want to do is retire on 40% of what you're making right now. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to go out. You want to live your life. And you want to enjoy yourself. You know what? I love when my clients come in and say, I've always dreamt of owning a Pontiac GTO. I've always wanted this Harley Davidson motorcycle. I've always wanted to see the Great Wall of China. These are the things that motivate me. And these are things that motivate most people, is going out and saying, you know what? Enough is enough. Now, do people come and say, I'm not sure if I can retire? All the time. And then I have a few people say, I'm not sure if I really want to retire. Now, those people are interesting, Kevin, because there's one demographic that I run into almost across the board that really can never retire. And they're teachers. Now, I'm not talking about the teacher that just taught so they could get a pension and summers off. That's not the teacher I'm talking about. We know those teachers. I'm talking about the teachers that when the good Lord stamped them, they stamped them as a teacher. You know what I'm talking about? They love it. It's in their blood. It's in every breath. And when they retire, they miss the kids so much. Guess what they start doing?
Working.
Tutoring.
Yeah.
And they start spending, and they love it more because now they get all the fun part of teaching without all the politics that go with it, right? Mm-hmm. But most people I meet, Most people I meet do not come and say, hey, I'm thinking about retiring for a couple years and then I'm going to go back to work. No, dude, you're 63. We don't know if your hip is going to hold together when you're 68, right? Kevin, you know what I'm talking about. I was doing squats today. There's a part of me right now that isn't quite sure if it's 52 or 88 right now, right? And my whole point is you have busted your butt. You have saved your entire life. You have sacrificed doing the fun things earlier in life so you could be in the position you're in today. Why in God's name are we not just going to pull the trigger if it makes sense? Now, does that mean you're going to sit on the couch like my dad did for the first full year of retirement and watch Jerry Springer? No, that is a slow death. I promise you. But what you can do is go do the fun things, volunteer, do the things that you love to do, but do it because you love it. Not because you need the money from it, right? That's a beautiful, like you love baseball, man. It's very obvious you love baseball. You light up anytime we talk about baseball. Could you imagine if you were completely financially independent and you could just go and maybe coach a rec league or go be an announcer for little, you would eat that stuff up, would you not?
Probably, yeah. I don't know if my wife would, but I would.
Well, you guys are financially independent. She's got her, dude, she's rocking the Red Hat Lady party right now. True. She doesn't care about you. They're crushing margaritas at the local Mexican restaurant, okay? My point is retirement is a vacation, but it'll be the longest vacation you ever take. That's why I take it so seriously, because when I sit down with somebody and I look at their goals in retirement, see, we're going to talk about goals a little bit later on and about what people like me don't do properly, right? But I sit down with somebody and I say, what do you want to do? What are your dreams? And you know what? What we do is we prioritize those dreams, not necessarily based on the amount of money they cost, although that's a factor in it, is if one of your dreams and you're, say, 70 years old, is to go to Acropolis in Greece, right? You know, if you remember ancient, the mythology stuff we learned in school, right? I was always blown away by it. So I want to go to the Acropolis. I wanted to go do all these cool things. I can promise you after going there, Kevin, you do not want to walk up those marble steps to the Acropolis when you're 92 years old, because it is slick as a countertop, right? Right. You do not want to go hike the Inca Trail when you're 83, right? You want to prioritize that to do that when you're 62 or 64. So when we sit down, and it's funny to say this out loud on the air because people aren't going to get it. My job as a financial planner, as a retirement planner, is not really about how to invest your money. That's like the easy stuff. Any idiot can do that. My job is to figure out how to make your money achieve your dreams and goals and do it in a way that we don't have to worry about running out of money. That's the challenge, and that's what my industry misses. They're too busy selling rates of return. You know, back in the day when we were on air all the time, we talk about the fajitas, right? In a Mexican. I love Mexican food, Kevin, by the way.
Me too.
And the fajitas, when they come out, think about this. They come out, they are sizzling, they are smoking, and it's like it does a victory lap in the restaurant before it goes to the table, right? Think about it. Yeah. Smells good. That's all pomp and circumstance. You know why they do that? Because they sell more fajitas that way, right? I'm not trying to sell you the sizzle. What I want to do is I want to sell you the meat. I want you to think about you busted your butt, you worked your tails off, you put your kids through school, you did all the things you need to do. Damn it, let's go enjoy life. Let's have a plan that forget about micro-retirement, FIRE, you know, all these other nonsense terms that we've heard. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to enjoy the rest of your life, and I want to do it in a way that we mathematically look at our money and say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if you live to 95 years old, there's a 95% probability that you will never run out of money. Because I do that day in and day out. And sometimes I go, Mr. and Mrs. Alpin, want to let you know real quick that there's a 30% chance that you're going to make it. And you got to go, well, I better work a little bit longer, right? These are the things that we do. These are the planning stages that we go through with people. And I'm telling you, our industry misses it. I don't want to say every time, but most of the time, because they're too busy selling rates of return. Kevin, how many conversations have you ever heard when people, you've been around, I'm talking about, You've been around the not the 1%, the 0.25 of the 1% people, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about things, cars, all the other stuff. And if they talk about investing, they always talk about how much money they make, right? Mm-hmm. Guys, it isn't about how much money you make. It's about how much money you got, what you can do with it, and are you going to run out of it? That's the important part. And that's something that we do every day. We sit down with you and we build plans built around your goals. And I keep saying it over and over again. And it's so stupid that I have to repeat this week after week, day after day, hour after hour with people because it's common sense. But yet everybody wants to sell this hot new mutual fund, this great new annuity, this amazing. Right now, everyone and their brother's asking me about this particular cryptocurrency, right?
Right.
Listen, if you think it's a hot tip and everyone's talking about it, the tip is over with. There's a pretty good rule of thumb there. Right. My point is you have worked your butts off to get to where you're at. Man, let's not go. If you can retire, go retire because we don't know how long the good Lord's going to let you be on this planet. Much less how long you're going to be able to do the things physically that you love to do. So I sit down and I always encourage people, retire as soon as you can. Enjoy life as soon as you can. Enjoy the journey. I have clients that retire at 75 and 80 years old and they have tens of millions of dollars. And then they die. What joy is there in life? This is all about you, your family, doing the things you love, being just happy and accomplishing all of these goals. That's what we do for people each and every day. And if you pick up the phone and give us a call, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk to you how we can make that happen.
So what you're saying is I better go to the boss's desk and pull off my micro-retirement letter before it gets too late. Is that
yeah, don't use your micro-retirement letter. All right. And by the way, you're too new to this for micro-retirement if you're current company. Okay.
Right. Jim, got a minute left in this week's show. And like we do each and every week, floor is all yours for the final word, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, every week, Kevin and I want you to know, we know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're honored to be one of those resources. So like you said, if there's anything we can do, pick up that phone, give us a call, come to those workshops, be a part of this Financial Straight Talk family that we've got going on. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and the man himself, Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.